everyone. Welcome to what is this today? I guess we want to call it.
It's definitely Friday.
You know, this will be a free advice Friday, actually. Okay. So you guys get a little sneak peek. I didn't know what kind of video we were gonna make just now.
No, she doesn't even know what day it is.
I don't. And I don't even. There it is. The microphone's on. We're here. Okay. So hello, welcome. There we are. My brain's not all the way on, but it's functioning. So here's what we're going to talk about today. So it's Free Advice Friday. It's more of a conversation today that we're going to have. And I want to talk about everybody saying that we're bracing for a second wave of COVID-19, which is interesting because I felt like we've had several waves of this now. I don't really know what wave we're on. But anyway, they predict that we will have more infections but less deaths. So I wanted to share with you a little bit about this article and then kind of get your opinion. They basically said there are less people currently dying of this virus, the coronavirus, than had before.
Okay, when you say that, that means the exposure rates are still staying the same, if not accelerating, but more people are not dying of it.
Less people are dying.
Yeah, so that means the people that are going to die of it have already died.
Mm-hmm. Yes. They also say that...
Which is a good sign.
It's a great sign.
Mm-hmm.
And they also said that it's in effect becoming a slightly less deadly illness, but they are saying, now this is up for interpretation, still far deadlier than the flu. Do you think it's still far deadlier than the flu?
No, I think it's about the same.
Okay. They said it's not as lethal as it was in the early days.
Yeah, they're just making this hype.
Yeah, this I feel like is where facts start to become opinion a little bit.
Yes. It's not becoming an opinion piece.
Yes, and they said especially those with severe symptoms are not dying as often. They said that the older and more vulnerable are staying home, so that also I think helps. They said that they're also trying new treatments, so I thought we could talk a little bit about the treatments. Dexamethasone, which is a steroid treatment. Mm-hmm. Do you know much about... Well, I'm sure you do. Can you tell us a little bit about that? I don't know why I said that. I'm going to scoot our little microphone box up a little bit. There we go. Dexamethasone. They said that they're seeing positive results. What do you think about that?
It's inflammation.
Yep. They also...
It's the inflammatory response from the virus. So, yes, that's a good thing.
Because that's what was basically choking people out, essentially.
Been saying it since February.
Yeah. So they also said that the Food and Drug Administration has broadened emergency use and authorization for an antiviral drug called Remdesivir, which we've talked about several times.
Yeah, it's kind of like, we looked at the price of it. It's like $30,000, and it limits your hospital stay by a day and a half, 2 days.
Yeah.
Not impressive.
Not crazy, but positive results,
Call it positive, but not jumping off my chair.
This is also something that they were talking about, which is proning. It's a tactic that you talked about where you flip a patient on their belly and it helps more oxygen run effectively through the body. How exactly does that work?
Well, blood has weight to it.
Okay.
And it's no different than if you were to look at your hand. You put your hand down, your veins get extended. I got this big gash on my arm from cutting a stone.
You are always injured. Oh my gosh.
I was cutting some sandstone.
You need to calm down.
Hacked my arm in half. But when you raise your arm up, the blood vessels go away. So blood has weight. The same thing happens in your lungs. And putting the people on their prone position, on their belly, changes how ventilation and perfusion in the lungs work. Mm-hmm. So think of it as a sponge, and depending on how the sponge is laying is where the water settles, and that's where the blood is. And if you lay the sponge flat as opposed to putting it up, there's more ventilation, oxygen being exchanged.
So that's cool. So that
it's kind of a hard concept to understand. That's probably not a good explanation.
No, I like it. So it basically the idea is it lets oxygen run effectively through the body.
It's more effective.
Yeah. So they also said that doctors have learned to hold off putting patients on ventilators right away because they found less invasive ways to help patients with labored breathing get enough air.
Yes.
So I think that's interesting too, because that was one of the big crises that we were facing with coronavirus.
Ventilator shortage.
Yeah. They also say that we have a wider availability of PPE. So whatever that means, because PPE could mean gloves, it could mean a shield, it could mean a mask. So we've got more access to that now. We're prepped for it. So those are some reasons that they're saying that we are going to be experiencing higher peaks for lots of different reasons, because people are going back to school, people are starting to go back to work. What are your thoughts generally on why? Do you think these are all good reasons? Do they contribute but not really reasons?
We don't know, and I can't predict the future. I think the infection rate will go up, but I think the deaths will go down, and this is just a virus that's going to have to pass through us, and by the time they get the vaccine out, we've already had it, and so it's kind of like closing the gate of the barn after the cows have already gotten out. It's not going to really make a whole lot of difference. The thing that we can learn from it is how quick we can respond to it. And now we have the technologies and new inventions, new ways
and
of
new information.
And I hope we learn from it. And I hope we try to keep politics out of it. Because I really don't like that very much. And I don't like these opinion pieces that say, COVID's way more lethal than the influenza ever was. No, not really.
It's just scare tactics.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah, we're looking for solid information to make decisions about.
That's it.
Yeah.
So.
Because the fact is, coronavirus is real. We're not arguing that.
Nope.
But what we are trying to nail down is not these, inflamed explanations of, how many people are dying and what that number is and what does that look like, and this person didn't die because they didn't XYZ, or we have to use this thing or else. We're looking for solid numbers, solid information, making decisions to save lives and not mess around with people's ability.
I truly believe that a lot of people in politics, mayors, governors, and stuff like that. I think they're trying to make the right decision. History will judge them one way or the other. So, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, the one thing I've always found to be true, and this is, I guess, my political statement of the day, I don't look to politicians to inform the way I live my life. I try to make the right decisions for myself. I try to be a good citizen of my community. I do what I think is best, and I also try my best to respect the wishes of other people. So if I'm around a person that likes a certain thing or doesn't like a certain thing, I don't have to argue with you about that. I could just take care of myself. So I think that's an important thing to do too. And I'm not saying listen to experts, listen to scientists, because I think at this point everybody's bought anyway. But you just have to be, common sense.
What's the problem when you get into the CDC and all that stuff, and NASA Institute of Health, NIH? The way you get in and promote it through there is through politics, and so it's not a good.
It's
mix.
not free from.
It's not a good mix, So you have politics and whether or not you're going to speak their talking points to what they want to do to get somebody in office, out of office. So, and what makes it really difficult is to sift through that bullshit, which is what it is, and come to a good, concise, accurate opinion. But people that sit there and do this political nonsense, I don't listen to them.
Yep. Well, there that is. So I guess what we're saying is they are anticipating a spike, but they are also anticipating it is less deadly, whether it's because we are starting
All right, so if they're predicting a spike and it's less deadly, who cares about the spike?
Yeah.
Let it happen.
And then... Spike away. And then, of course, they're...
it really has changed the way we do things anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure life will ever be the same again.
Yeah, I don't think so. Well, they're talking about now we're going to be a pandemic society, because this is not the only thing. They anticipate more, because I think it's like every 10 years we get a pandemic anyway, right? Or epidemic. Maybe it doesn't always go pandemic vibes.
Well, it depends if you believe in that. The fact that China invented this virus on purpose to destroy the economies of the world, or not.
Yeah. Who knows?
There's some crazy information.
I've watched a lot of movies that make me wonder. I'm like, am I crazy? I don't feel like that's the case, but who knows?
Who knows?
I don't know. I'm just a peon that lives in Joplin, and I don't know everything.
Yeah, what do we know? We live in Joplin.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on in Wuhan.
I always say this is the safest city in the world because who the hell would ever nuke Joplin, Missouri?
Don't even say it.
Don't you
Where's
say
the
what?
wood? Knock on wood. We don't want to say that. We don't know.
This be the last city in the world they nuke.
Well, everyone, it was good knowing you.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll be back on Monday for Mythbuster Monday.